Hello everybody, Kerry, Shuck here alongside the voice of the Barons, Jim Byers. And Jim, it's been a while. You guys have been on the road. A three-game set last week. Came away 1 win, 2 losses, ending that 8-game point streak.
Yeah, it was a pretty good trip overall. I think the efforts were pretty good. It's tough to lose the last 2, but there was some tough travel involved in that Sunday game, and Toronto and the guys played pretty hard. So facing tough teams, they faced division leaders there in Grand Rapids and Toronto last weekend, acquitted themselves pretty well, and now taking on a couple of tough teams here. Rockford tonight and tomorrow, and San Antonio aren't division leaders, but they've been very hot.
Rockford is a playoff team at this point, have beaten the Barons twice this year. What do they have to do to get off that snide and get a victory tonight?
Well, I think they just need to pretty much keep doing what they're doing. Rockford's a team that historically is good off the rush. They're skilled offensively. They have some of the top offensive players going right now. So they're going to have to try to contain those guys, play reasonably well defensively. The goals against total is still a little higher than you might like to see it for the Barons. They can keep that to a minimum here, and it's easier said than done against Rockford. Then I think they'll be okay, but it's going to be kind of a defense-first weekend for the Barons if they want to have a chance to sweep all 3.
Now, it could have been just about 6 weeks ago, San Antonio almost at the bottom of the standings, and now they've had a pretty good push. They come in Sunday, talk about their efforts and what the Barons will have to do to get a win there.
They went out on the rodeo road trip, lost a shootout in the first game, then won about 6 in a row. So they've guaranteed, I think, their best rodeo road trip record ever, or at least close to it. And they've been out the whole month of February, and they'll get back home for a game and then come right here on Sunday. So it's going to be back on the road for them. Hopefully the Barons can maybe catch them a little bit, I don't know if you'd say tired, but a little road weary, because here's this team's been gone for a month. They come back and play a game at home, then have to bust right back up here. And could be a good spot for the Barons on Sunday to catch a team that might be a little bit tired of being out on the road and tired of the routine there. So, but San Antonio's playing very well. We haven't seen them since early January, but we always felt the Rampage had a good club. They just weren't quite putting it all together, and now they're really hard to score against right now. So Sunday's going to be an interesting contest because San Antonio's not been giving up very many goals lately.
A lot of players on the Barons side playing really well. Brad Hunt, Anton Lander, Steve Pinizzato, Jack Combs. Mark Arcobello has 6 points in the 6 games he's played. Talk about his return to Oklahoma City.
He's really mixed the whole thing up, because what he does is he strengthens whatever line he's on, and he's played very well with Horak and Pinizzato. But he also allows the coaching staff to mix other pieces together and make the other line stronger. He's really elevated not only his own play, but everybody else's. He's really helped the power play. And Hunt playing so well from the blue line on the power play has really elevated that. And it's just a ripple effect. And Arcobello, I mean, he's good for at least a point a night. He's scored in every game, a point at least in every game he's played. And it's had a major ripple effect.
Now that they've played so well over this break, trying to make that push for the playoffs, what do you see this team as kind of like last year's teams? I know we talked about it before, that they're going to be able to make that push.
They certainly seem to be in position for it. They've still got about 3 teams they have to overhaul to get into that 8th and final playoff spot. It's going to take another pretty good run. I don't know if it'll take an unbeaten streak of the length they just got off of, but it's going to take a pretty good point run, because right now there's so many teams so congested, just like last year, that with shootout and overtime losses mixed in and a lot of 3-point hockey games where even the losing team gets a point, the Barons are going to need to reel off a few regulation time wins. But it's definitely possible. They did it last year. There have been some stability in the roster of late. Hopefully that'll continue. That's really helped the club. And Richard Bachman's been playing very well in net. So a lot of the pieces are very similar to last year.
All right, great. Well, thanks for joining me for the pregame report there, Jim. And don't forget, tonight it's $2 beers, $1 hot dogs up until 8 p.m. tonight. For Barons Beat and for Jim Byers, I'm Kerry Shuck.